we're gonna be discussing here, dealing with the whole Avengers Doomsday, CinemaCon, as far as like the test screen is going for Avengers Doomsday, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Yeah, we're gonna get into some stuff. We're gonna get into a lot of stuff. And mainly these discussions we have in this live is mainly gonna be dealing with the fandom, and then of course I'll probably dive into a little bit of other stuff as well too, dealing with sports and stuff like that and everything. Because I know we getting prepared for the NBA playoffs as well too. So that's always fantastic news as well too. So I'm looking forward to seeing my teams dominate, of course, which is the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. But without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off, I want to go ahead and talk about the Avengers Doomsday. So we know that Avengers Doomsday test screening. Well, let me actually go to it. So it says here that Avengers Doomsday recent test screenings reaction suggested is performing on the same level as Infinity War. So this is really big news. So everybody already, of course, is excited to see Avengers Doomsday. We know that this is going to be the biggest movie of the year, of course, because of course is always been one of Marvel's biggest movies, of course, when it comes to Avengers and everything. And of course, we know that the that is really a lot on the line, as far as like with the whole MCU and everything like that, because a lot of people, of course. As far as like MCU fans and everything, they just feel that ever since they started Phase 4 or whatnot, it just Marvel haven't really been the same and everything. So a lot of fans, of course, are seeing if they're gonna make that mark to where they get back on top and to where they reclaim the throne again, of course, to where when they have first started off with the Infinity War saga. So that's what a lot of fans is really looking forward to seeing and everything. Now, me on the other hand, how I feel about it, like if you've been following my channel, of course, I always enjoy and love the Marvel content because I just love how they're able to piece stuff together and do crossovers and stuff like that. Now they probably didn't do as much as they did with like Phase 4 and whatnot, and probably like with Phase 5, but they did the best that they could. I will admit that they did the best that they could. And like I said, I've enjoyed it. I've loved it. Of course, you know what I'm saying? That's my thoughts on as far as like Marvel content because I'm just a huge Marvel fan and I know what to really look forward to when it comes to Marvel, but as far as like with the whole test screenings for Avengers Doomsday, I really feel like this is really big. I really feel like this is going to be very amazing. Now, I already know personally that Avengers Doomsday is going to be an epic, legendary movie due to the fact of the actors that they're going to have in it, the characters, of course, that's going to be in it, the storyline that they have set up for, the Russo brothers being a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. Then of course we got Kevin Feige to where he really been hands on with when it comes to the Marvel projects and stuff like that. So we know that this is going to be a big thing. So this is going to be very huge and it's going to have a very big impact to the MCU, of course. So I'm glad to hear that the test screenings went well for Infinity War. But whether if they went well or not, I was still going to go see this movie regardless. So it's just a must see, and I feel like it's a mandatory film, just like how the Super Mario Galaxy movie was. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, that is just amazing news. So I am very, very excited to see what Avengers Doomsday really have in store because we already know, of course, like once Avengers Doomsday comes out, that is going to be the it's going to be a sequel to it to where we end up going straight into Avengers Secret Wars, of course, which of course Avengers Secret Wars is going to be like the only MCU film that we actually get of next year because they're not going to be releasing no other MCU films. So it mainly so like when we go towards next year, like 2027, it's mainly going to be like TV shows and stuff like that, and probably a special presentation like how we about to get the Punisher one last kill, come next month and everything. So that's mainly where where that's really gonna go into as far as like the whole MCU theme for next year, of course, but they got some big plans going towards next year. So I'm completely excited because we already know that Vision Quest is coming. We know that Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, even though that's more of the Sony, but we know that's coming next year as well too. And yeah, they got a few other things that they got coming as well. So I'm completely excited for next year to see what the MCU do and everything once they get into Avengers Secret Wars towards the end of the year of 2027. But like I said, guys, Avengers Doomsday is going to be so much fun to watch, and I'm quite sure a lot of us is really going to just absolutely love and enjoy that movie. And I already know it's going to be so many epic and incredible legendary scenes in it. So it just gets me so pumped and just so excited. So I just cannot wait. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, guys, we're going to have some of the biggest stars that's going as far as like the casting wise that's going to be in the film as well too. So it's a lot of a lot of stuff to really look forward to when it comes to Avengers Doomsday and everything. And so yeah, we should really just have fun with it because yeah, it's been about like at least like 6 7 years since we had an Avengers film, and then of course we already know that was Avengers Endgame. So it's a lot to really look forward to. Then of course we already know that we're going to also be getting an Avengers Endgame of this year as well too, which is going to be released on September the 24th, of course. So that should be fun to watch as well too. And like I said in the video before, if you haven't seen it, I did mention in the video that it will be a post-credit scene in the Avengers Endgame when they happen to release it this year. So definitely stay tuned in for that. And be aware because that's pretty much going to be the connection of Avengers Doomsday, of course. You know what I'm saying? So I really would not be surprised if like Avengers Doomsday really just pick up where they left off when they happen to do from Endgame and everything, and then started off from like Avengers Doomsday. So it's just no telling. You know what I'm saying? But it's probably gonna really blow our minds once we happen to see that opening scene for Avengers Doomsday and everything. And I'm all for it. I'm definitely all for it, and I just cannot wait. I see a few people that just happen to get on board. Um, them Beyonder gonna wipe them all in Avengers. Yes, yes, I do believe Beyonder is gonna do some things. Yes, Beyonder is gonna go crazy. Um, yeah, I'm looking at the comments, man. What's going on, Dragon Warrior? Um, I'm going to bed. Oh, what's going on, PJM Products? What's going on? But yeah, I'm glad y'all came on board to happen to look at the channel and everything. So I'm gonna be on here for a little bit, mainly discussing about with the whole fandom, which of course fandom is what I consider as like Marvel and DC and like Sonic Universe, Mario Universe, all that good stuff and everything. Um, why did I join to see A7? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, as I dive into this next article though, I want to go ahead and really discuss about yeah. So I want to go ahead and talk about as far as Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, Spider-Man Brand New Day. I've been seeing this article as well too. All in Spider-Man Brand New Day, they've been mentioning that it's supposed to take place a little bit after Avengers Doomsday, and I see a little bit of mixed comments when it came to it because I do read comments and stuff like that, and I seen a little bit of mixed comments when it comes to like Spider-Man Brand New Day taking place after Avengers Doomsday. Look, it makes sense in a way, guys. You gotta think about it. It makes sense in a way, So it's not like they're just gonna just throw us in the jungle to where we don't know what's going on. So I'm quite sure there's going to be some connectivity to where it's like taking place like after Avengers Doomsday. So it will all make perfect sense and everything. Now, like I always say though, my question is Tom Holland Spider-Man going to be in Avengers Doomsday? Now, honestly, I don't think he's going to be in it. I honestly don't, but I'll be very, very surprised if he is. You know what I'm saying? Just like with Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I said the same thing about that as well, too. Like, I don't know whether or not if Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is going to be in it. So that one is really a toss-up in the air. We do know that Tobey Maguire is in it. That's already been confirmed. But as far as like Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland, those are the questionable ones because like I said, we're going into Spider-Man Brand New Day, which of course Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be the last film that we happen to get right before we get into Avengers Doomsday and everything. You know what I'm saying? Well, not the last Marvel film because of course, like I said, we got Endgame as well too. But Endgame, after Endgame, then of course Avengers Doomsday. But I'm questionable on that. Now it'll be very cool to see it, but honestly, I think they're going to have them to where they lead them up into Avengers Secret Wars, of course, and to where we happen to see the big three. Because this is not going to be the last time that we happen to see the big three when it comes to the Spider-Man, Andrew, Toby, and Tom Holland. So it's gonna be very cool to see them in Avengers Secret Wars the way they happen to reconnect into where they, taking on the battles, whether it's Beyonder, whether it's Doctor Doom, of course, whatever the case may be and everything that they have set up for the supervillain, of course, for Avengers Secret Wars. But it's gonna be huge. And like I said, guys, it's gonna be exciting. So as far as like with the whole Spider-Man taking place after Doomsday, I don't really think it's like a really like a far-fetched thing for real, for real. So I think they got something set up to where we get straight into it because we already know it is going to be a street level movie. As far as like, because a lot of fans, of course, been wanting that street level threat for Spider-Man. So we're definitely gonna get that. But as far as like with the whole with it being after Doomsday, I'm quite sure it's something that they worked around to be able to do that. So I got my trust and faith in them that they got this in hands. So I'm not really gonna do too much judgment on that one. So y'all gotta let me know how y'all actually feel though. How do you actually feel about Spider-Man Brand New Day actually taking place after Avengers Doomsday? Do you think that this is a little bit far-fetched? Do you think that is something that they got going to where we're gonna see some stuff to where it leads up to like Doomsday or something like that? Or do you think that it's just a whole throw off to get us to where what I'm saying? Like, do you think it's just a throw off for us, to have us like confused or anything like that? So you just let me know in the comment section. Um, as I get into the next article, so to everybody that happened to be joining on board to this live today and everything, I'm letting everybody know. So as far as like what I'm talking about today is pretty much Avengers Doomsday, dealing with as far as the test screenings, of course. Now, I mentioned at the very beginning to some of you that just happened to get on board. As far as like with the whole Avengers Doomsday, the test screenings mentioned that it went very well and it's up there with Infinity War. But honestly, how I actually feel about it, I think that Avengers Doomsday is going to be better than Infinity War. Just dealing with the whole impact that we're going to be having with Robert Downey Jr. playing as Doctor Doom, along with the other star cast that they have happened to bring back, as far as like Steve Rogers, of course, which is Chris Evans. Then of course we got Tobey Maguire Spider Man. And then yeah, we got a few others that's gonna be in there as well too. So it's really gonna be big and really gonna be cool. Now, as far as like the only person I honestly don't think that would be in Avengers Doomsday, like as far as like a returning cast that we've seen from the Infinity Saga, is Scarlett Johansson. Now, I don't necessarily think she would be in it, because I don't know. The only way I would see Scarlett Johansson being in it is if she's pulling some kind of like what they probably gonna do with Steve Rogers, where he happened to be the villain instead of the hero. Because I don't think Steve Rogers is going to end up being a hero. Something telling me he's going to be more like the villain, to where Robert Downey Jr., Doctor Doom, happened to come to his place and everything, to where he's going to want to recruit him to be a part of his team, of course. You know what I'm saying? And then he end up joining him, along with same thing with Scarlett Johansson. Like, I think that Scarlett Johansson will have that same scenario. Like, I honestly don't think that she's going to be playing a hero or whatnot and everything. I think that she'll be probably joining on board with the Doctor Doom. That's just my thoughts on it though. But I think that she would actually be joining Doctor Doom. So I don't think that she'll be coming out like as a hero for Doomsday and everything. Because we already know Doctor Doom, he's going to have a team. You know what I'm saying? And for them to be bringing out all the elites for like Avengers and X-Men, he's gonna have a top tier team. So I'm quite sure he's gonna have some people that he's gonna be going to like all different types of multiverses, of course, to where he's recruiting this big army, to where he happens to face off against the Avengers and the X-Men, of course. Now, we already know that the X-Men is going to be in it, which is that's the fun part about it. But we know the even more exciting part about it is that we get, for the first time ever in live action, we're going to be able to see the Avengers go up against the X-Men. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be just like a chef kiss. That's just going to be just so amazing just to see, just like phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But eventually, though, we know for a fact that they're gonna, of course, like I said, they're gonna bump heads, but then eventually they know that it's gonna be a bigger war, a bigger threat that's going on, and to where they're gonna join forces to go up against Doctor Doom. So I think that's how that's gonna happen and everything with the whole X-Men and the Avengers, of course. But yeah, like I said, guys, as far as like with the whole Scarlett Johansson thing, I just don't think that she will actually be like a hero, of course. I just think that she's going to end up being that villain and everything. But as I continue to move on into mention about in the next article. So in the next article, I want to go ahead and discuss what did I have here? It was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, so I wanted to talk about with the whole Daredevil thing. So yes, I definitely want to talk about this because this is just crazy. I didn't even notice this until I happened to see it on my news feed on Facebook, of course. So Daredevil Born Again. So Daredevil season 2, episode 4. So it's been going around as far as like the Watcher happened to been in that episode, which I did not notice it until like Facebook and just they happened to catch it and then they happened to spot it out and everything. So now it's been recognized that as far as like the Watcher being in Daredevil Born Again season 2. So how I feel about this is so cool, man, because we know for a fact that the Watcher, he's been in a lot of crossover TV shows. So it just haven't just been what if. So we've seen him in he's been in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. He was also in I Am Groot. Then of course I believe he was in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Because I happen to see that one, but that one I'm gonna have to see that one again because I don't remember seeing the Watcher in that one. So that one I'm gonna have to keep a close eye and actually watch it again to really like pause and see him being in that movie. But they also mentioned about him being in the Galaxy of the Guardians as well too, which I believe it was volume 2 if I'm correct. But yeah, like I say, he's been doing a lot of crossovers and everything. So I think that's very huge because of course we already knew about the Watcher and What If, where the Watcher, of course, he's able to see all the multiverse worlds, of course. So he keeps a close eye on everything of what's going on and everything. So for him to actually be in Daredevil Born Again season 2, I just thought that was a pretty slick, a pretty cool moment. So I like it. I like it, and I'm curious to see what they got set up for the Watcher, of course, when we happen to see him in, like in Avengers Doomsday or something like that. So I'm curious to see how big his role is going to be and what his interactions is going to be when he happens to, like, you know what I'm saying, like interact with the Avengers or like the X-Men and stuff like that and everything. So I'm stoked. I'm pumped. I like it. I thought it was a cool moment for him to actually be in there. The way they was able to piece that in there together. So I like that touch. It just what gets me though, as far as like the Watcher being in Daredevil Born Again season 2, because I was so caught up on the action of Bullseye and everything, the way Bullseye was able to take out the task force of Wilson Fisk, of course, and then of course when Daredevil happened to go after Bullseye, of course, from like the last episode that we seen towards the ending, where he goes after and tries to take out Vanessa and everything. And Daredevil was there to actually save it because he knew that he was going to be making the biggest mistake of trying to take out Vanessa due to the fact of, he ended up saving Wilson Fisk's life. So it was kind of crazy to where when he happened to bust out the window and then they was able to right there, happen to piece that together, and it was the Watcher the entire time. So I thought it was cool. I thought it was a pretty slick moment, and yeah, I like it. So yeah, that's pretty much the reason why I wanted to talk about it and everything. But as I go move on to the next article, so let me see, what do we have here? The next thing that I wanted to talk about was let's see where we at. Okay, so yep. Now let's talk about this whole Daredevil thing. Now, as far as like the Daredevil Born Again, so apparently they were supposed to be making a solo movie for Daredevil Born Again. So this would be the first time that the MCU happened to make like a Daredevil movie. You know what I'm saying? We already know that we're getting season 3 of Daredevil and everything. So that's already been confirmed. And then of course we got the leaked photos with the Defenders returning of the Daredevil Born Again season 3. So Daredevil season 3 is already set. We know about that. So so I'm guessing like after they do season 3, they're going to have something prepared to where we happen to get our first solo movie for Daredevil Born Again. So I'm guessing it's going to leave. I'm guessing where the way they're going to do the movie is going to be the continuation of season 3. Now, as far as them doing the season 4, that's a possibility that can happen. I honestly don't think we need a Nick Cage to come back as Ghost Rider. Okay, he's the most powerful. What's going on, Mystic TCG? What's going on? So to answer your question, Well, to answer your statement, I should say, as far as like Nicolas Cage as coming back, I do believe Nicolas Cage is going to come back. I think he's going to be in Secret Wars. Now, I'm glad that you brought that up because I am curious of how they're going to pull it off because we got Spider-Man Nora that's going to be coming on the 23rd of May. And so how I actually feel about that, I'm curious to see what how he's going to lead into the MCU because I'm in some way, shape, or form they got to have it set up to where they end up bringing him into the MCU and everything. But it's all about how they're gonna go about it and how they're gonna go about him being in Avengers Secret Wars. Are we going to see him in Avengers Doomsday? Honestly, I don't think that we're going to see Nicolas Cage, Spider-Man, nor in Avengers Doomsday, but we'll probably get him in Secret Wars. Same thing with Ghost Rider. Now, Ghost Rider, it's a possibility that he can be in Doomsday. I'm not going to rule that out. It's a possibility we could see that, along with seeing Wesley Snipes as Blaze. So, as far as like Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider, being a part in the like the MCU, I think that's going to happen. But I think that we may just see him for the Avengers films, of course. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think they're going to keep Nicolas Cage to where we when we happen to go into the next saga, saga of course, and to where he happens to like carry the saga and everything, as Ghost Rider. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that they'll just have him for like the Avengers movies and everything. Because of course we already know that we got Spider-Man Noir coming. So which I'm super pumped for that show because that trailer was absolutely amazing. So I cannot wait to see that show once it hit on Amazon Prime Video and everything. But that's just my thoughts on it though. But I'm excited about that. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider, and his Spider-Man Nora as well too. To what it is that they're going to set him up to like bring him into the fold and to where he happens to be a part of the Avengers films and everything. But I honestly do think Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider is going to happen. Now, as far as like them recasting Nicolas Cage role for Ghost Rider, I think that's going to happen. But like I don't think that we're going to continuously see him in the next saga we go to, which of course will be the mutant saga for the MCU. It's just no way around it. I just don't think that they pretty much going to want to look for that not just that younger talent, but pretty much want to have a different talent, a different cast to be able to carry that role as Ghost Rider. So I don't think that he's going to be the only Ghost Rider that we end up getting. So we'll probably end up getting a completely different Ghost Rider, which they'll probably end up recasting. Which, of course, if that bounds to happen, I'm gonna definitely make a video for it, letting y'all know that as far as like them recasting for the Ghost Rider and everything for the MCU, you know. Um, well, no, he'll die and pass on the mantle. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You're right, Mystic. TCG. You're absolutely right. I do believe that he'll end up passing down the mantle. Yeah. So some way, shape, or form. So like, if we happen to see him in Avengers Secret Wars or Avengers Doomsday. He'll probably end up dying, and where he end up passing down the mantle to where, of course, that'll be the perfect time to where they can introduce a brand new Ghost Rider coming into the MCU and everything. So yes, I do think that that would end up happening, which we will be okay with that. I'm quite sure that that'll be a great send off, for them to being able to retire his Ghost Rider and everything. So I think that'll be the perfect move for the MCU, of course. So yes, I'm glad you said that. Yep, definitely. But as I continue to move on, as far as like with this whole article. So let me see what's the next article I want to talk about. Um I think let me see. I think that's about it as far as like what I pretty much wanted to talk about as far as Marvel stuff. But yeah. To let y'all know, so I did see the trailer for the I know I don't really do reviews for like trailers for real, only because I'm trying to wait until get like another camera or something like that, or like my laptop to where I can start doing trailer reviews and like to like actually so you guys can actually get the hands on seeing me react to like the trailers and stuff like that. But I'm gonna talk about it as far as like with the Punisher thing. So as far as like the Punisher One Last Kill, look from that trailer, that movie, of course, short movie. I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? I do think that it's going to be like a rated R kind of like content, but I'm definitely looking forward to that Punisher One Last Kill and everything. So I think they're going to go all out with that. So yeah, that one looks amazing too, and I can't wait to see it. And what's so cool about it? They're actually going to release it the day they released the last episode of Daredevil Born Again season 2. So like after that season finale of season 2 Daredevil Born Again, that same day they gonna end up releasing the Punisher One Last Kill. So I thought that was pretty cool to way the way they set that up and everything. So that way once July hits, we can go straight into watching Spider-Man Brand New Day and everything. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I like that. I definitely need to watch the Punisher, as far as like the Netflix series and everything, because I'm quite it did get a lot of great reviews. A lot of people talk about it, mentioning that it was really good and everything. So I'm definitely going to have to go back and like rewatch that. But I am going to watch that one last kill and everything. So to let y'all know, there will be a review for that. So definitely look forward to seeing that. Um but yeah, as I continue to move on, so I kind of want to dive a little bit into like the sports and everything. Now, to let y'all know, to some of y'all that's either brand new or to some of y'all that's already been rocking with my channel since the very beginning. So it was a point in time where I was having to do sports, but then I had stopped doing it only because I was trying to narrow down as far as like with the whole movies and TV shows and really just focus on like the main thing to where I could continue to push out the content to where people to stay updated with stuff. But what I'm going to do as far as like starting this year, I will be going back to transitioning over of talking about sports more. So it won't just be wrestling. So I am going to be discussing about basketball, football. So like when football season happen to start back up and everything, I will be doing videos and stuff like that. So definitely look forward to it. Um Hey, what's going on, Rebecca Walker? What's going on? So yes, definitely look forward to it because I will be doing sports again. Like I said, I'll be talking about football, basketball, of course. I'm gonna probably try to talk about other sports as well too, even though I probably don't follow them as much. But I'll see if I can do my best to like report videos and stuff about soccer or maybe even baseball and stuff like that. So y'all gotta bear with me on it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely looking turn your gift and you're donating on about to donate you 800. Oh yes, thank you, Rebecca Walker. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I always appreciate all the love and support that I happen to get from the channel from all the viewers. To let y'all know, I would not be able to do this without all of you. So I'm very grateful to have all of you to continue on to happen to watch this channel and everything and to really like support it or whatnot. So a big huge thanks to all of you for that. You know, I really I really do appreciate all of you being a part of it, and y'all are the reason why I continue on to happen to do I kind of entertainment. Even though to let y'all know, so like I love what I do, and I'm always been passionate about I kind of entertainment, but if it wasn't for you, I don't really know where I would be at. So I really got to give all of you a big thanks for y'all supporting the channel, subscribing to the channel, watching the channel, commenting and liking. So it really helps to where y'all contribute to this channel and everything. So thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. Um scammer gets scam buddy. No, we not doing that over here. Just to let y'all know, we not doing we not doing that over here, Rebecca. No, but hopefully they happen to not. I don't need any people that try to do any scams or anything. Anything that I happen to do to this channel, it's always been authentic and it's always been like 100%. Like what it is that I'm discussing or what it is that I'm talking about. So like at times I happen to get like certain news and stuff like that to where it gets mixed up to where it be like a miscommunication at the time. So it is what it is. So you just do what you're talking about like the football and basketball. I'm 23. Yes. Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So like as far as like with the whole sports thing and everything, like I'm gonna definitely talk about football and basketball again, mainly because those have always been the sports that I always liked and enjoy. So I definitely will be going back to talking about sports and whatnot. So definitely look forward to it. Definitely look forward to it. But mainly what I did want to discuss as far as basketball though. So I want to talk about as far as like the playoffs. So we know the NBA playoffs are starting back. We know that it will be starting up in like on the 19th of April, if I'm correct. Would you say? I'm a coach for basketball. Oh, that's cool. Congrats. I like that. That's very cool. Yeah, that is really big. Yeah, congratulations, Rebecca. I like that. It's cool that you're a coach. I like that. But yeah, as far as like the playoffs, I believe the playoffs supposed to start on the 19th of April, which of course, I'm looking forward to my teams, the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons, and I'm quite sure that either one of them teams is going to end up going to like the playoffs and everything. So I'm definitely pumped. I'm definitely excited to see what my teams is going to do. The only thing that really has me nervous is probably the Knicks because the Knicks haven't really been playing like they I ain't gonna say they haven't really been playing like they normally do, but they got me on the fence to where the Detroit Pistons might end up knocking them out. So that's gonna be a battle. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a battle. I honestly think that's gonna be the Eastern Conference finals where it's gonna be the Detroit Pistons versus the New York Knicks and everything. Your college is talking to me. Oh, that's I don't know how to respond to that. But yeah, I feel like that's going to be the Eastern Conference. Now, for the Western Conference, I think that it'll end up being the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the San Antonio Spurs. And then, of course, like when it happens to come to the finals, it's either going to be Oklahoma or the San Antonio Spurs that happen to go up against either the Pistons or the Knicks. That's how I think it's going to lead up to. I could be wrong, but I honestly think that's how it's going to turn out because San Antonio is strong, you know what I'm saying? And they got Wemby, of course, and they are very dominant. You know what I'm saying? They are a very dominant team and everything. So it's going to be big to see what it is that they happen to do once they happen to get into this playoffs. Because the playoffs is a whole different atmosphere, especially when you got the crowd on your side, the momentum, everything is just flowing. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be crazy. You're kind of talking to me, and I'm the only one here. It's okay. It's okay. Look, I don't judge. I really appreciate the support and the comments that I happen to get on the channel. So people that happen to not comment or that happen to not watch, it's okay. If I happen to get one person, two person, three people, it doesn't matter. I still appreciate the support because they were able to take time out to come to this live to actually watch it. You know what I'm saying? And to actually just to see what it's all about as far as the topics that I happen to discuss. So it's always a blessing just to get one person, two people, three people. Like I say, it's completely fine. That's why I say I'm completely grateful to have the audience that I do have. As far as them supporting the content and for them to actually be watching the content, even if they happen to just browse at it for like a hot second, they still watched it for like a hot second, just to show some kind of love or support. So I appreciate that. And pretty much the main thing I always have wanted to do was continue to elevate iconic entertainment to where it continues to branch out and to where it can be a worldwide thing. So that way people can just stay updated with the entertainment that goes on in the industry, of course, whether if it's movies, whether if it's sports, whether if it's games. That's what iconic entertainment is for, is to be able to stay updated with all the newest updates when it comes to the content. So um, yeah, I kind of start watching you when you first start. I thank you for that, Rebecca Walker. Thank you. I really do. I'm glad that you've been watching me since day one. So you already know. You already know. You really made my day. So I really appreciate that, Rebecca. I thank you for that. Because people that's been rocking with me since day one, it just shows you that they're really true loyal fans and fans of course of the channel. So I completely support that, and I'm completely thankful to have you all aboard, of course. But yeah, as I continue to talk about as far as like with the whole basketball thing, but like I said, I honestly think that it'll end up being the San Antonio Spurs versus either the Detroit Pistons or the New York Knicks because of just the way they was able to carry out the whole entire season. They've been so dominant, especially the Detroit Pistons. They've been dominant since day one. You know what I'm saying? And they have not taken their foot off the gas. You know what I'm saying? So, and you can tell that they hungry. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that my New York Knicks is not hungry because we was able to see that last year when they was just this close of making it to the NBA finals, but they was ready. You know what I'm saying? So I'm quite sure that they're gonna be ready for this season, this playoff season as well too. You know, but yeah, I'm I know, but yeah, I'm prepared, and I cannot wait to see what this playoffs season is really gonna bring. And I just feel like the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks future is very bright because they are just very dominant teams to what they have built on their bench. And as far as like, and with they starting lineup, I just feel like that they have a great starting lineup. Both teams, they do. They have a great starting lineup. You know what I'm saying? People know about Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, he's always been amazing since day one, since he's been over there on the Knicks. People know about my boy Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham been a beast since day one, since he's been drafted, and he's pretty much leading that team. You know what I'm saying? So that's mainly their keys. Like Kay Cunningham is mainly the key of them being able to get to that championship and everything. And like I said, the Pistons is hungry. You can see it, and we haven't had this dominant of the Detroit Pistons since the 2004. You know what I'm saying? Back when we had Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace. So this is huge. You know what I'm saying? This is huge. I know. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that just for a little bit and everything. But I also wanted to discuss about as far as like the jerseys or whatnot, because the jerseys that they have for next year around Christmas time, like these jerseys, they look absolutely cool. Yeah, it's so there's like a black reddish for like the Christmas jerseys that they're gonna have next season for the Detroit Pistons, and yeah, they just look stunning. It's a black and red. It's look like a flame to it and everything, but yeah, it looks cool. You know what I'm saying? It looks very cool. But yeah, that's mainly everything. Oh, also, I also wanted to talk about this now that I'm happen to point it out. So, to let y'all know, as far as like, since we're talking about the NBA, so we know that the Seattle and the Las Vegas is going to be going towards. I don't think it's next year. I think it's going to be like in 2028, because we know that the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're actually going to be going to the Eastern conference. So they're no longer going to be a Western Conference team. They're going to be on the Eastern Conference and everything when they happen to bring in Seattle and Las Vegas, of course, for the two brand new basketball teams and everything. Now, to let y'all know, that's going to be big. Kevin Durant is one of my favorite players, and I remember seeing a interview when Kevin Durant was actually on a podcast and everything, and he mentioned about as far as him going back to be to like play in Seattle and everything, and he said he would love to go back. He would love to go back because a lot of people don't know about the Seattle Supersonics, but that's where he was originally drafted from, way before they had turned into the Oklahoma City Thunder and everything. You're making my day so much better. Thank you, the best person ever. I'm glad that I was able to make your day, Rebecca. I really do appreciate that. You actually made my day as well. So we both we both here on the same page. But yeah, as far as like with Kevin Durant, with him going to the Seattle Supersonics, yeah. But I think that is just cool, because like I said, that's where he was originally drafted from. So it'll be cool to actually see him, go back to where he started it from, way before he had the James Harden and all that other stuff. So I like this. I'm excited, and yeah, I cannot wait to see if he happens to really make that move. But let me know what y'all actually think about this. Do y'all think it's a good move for Kevin Durant to actually go back to the Seattle Sonics, or do you think he should just stay where he's at? What do y'all actually think about Seattle and Las Vegas coming to the NBA? Do you like this? Do you not like this? And what do y'all actually think about the Minnesota Timberwolves being a part of the Eastern Conference? Do y'all think they actually should have left them in the Western Conference, or do you think that they'll be a little bit more dominant on the Eastern Conference? So y'all just let me know in the comment section down below. Have a great day. I have to go to work. Yes, you have a great day as well too, Rebecca. I'm glad that you was able to watch the live, of course. So I really appreciate you. So thank you. But yeah, like I say, guys, I'm super pumped for basketball. It's a lot of things going on, so it's gonna be very exciting. But yeah, I'm about to wrap up in a little bit with this live. So I really just want to dive in for probably with just probably one or two more topics. Oh, so the next topic I actually wanted to talk about was the Detroit aftershock. So it has been official that the Detroit Shock, they're actually coming back. So we're going to have a WNBA team again. Now it's been a little bit over, I want to say 5 6 years since Detroit had a WNBA team, because they actually took that away from us. But we're actually going to get a WNBA team coming back to Detroit. So this is a great thing, you know what I'm saying? Because Detroit, they just been dominant the past couple of years or so and everything, you know. So it's cool to actually see the Detroit bringing back a WNBA team. So yes, I'm glad that they're showing us that love and support, because we need it. You know what I'm saying? Now the WNBA is not as popular as the NBA, but you still have people that happen to watch it, of course. You know, so that's still pretty cool. How long are you going to? Not long. I'm probably going to be wrapping up in a little bit. You know, I just wanted to happen to dive in probably like two more topics, and then I'm gonna be finished. I'm gonna be getting off this podcast and everything. But yeah, to let you know, Rebecca Walker, if you ever happen to want to join in or anything like that, you can. Or you happen to want to do a collaboration, you can. You know, just let me know ahead of time as far as like you know, wanting to do a collaboration, because I will eventually end up doing collaborations with other people, you know, so it won't just be me just doing solo videos and stuff like that. I'm just waiting for the perfect opportunity and the perfect time to actually have things set up to where I can bring people on board, and to where y'all be able to get a different hands on of seeing me collaborate with other people on the podcast, of course. You know, I am from Detroit, Michigan. I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, of course. Yep, yep, that's where I'm from. But yeah, I'm just yeah, like I said, guys, I'm just excited, and I think that it's going to be so cool to actually see a Detroit team coming back for the WNBA and everything. So I think that's very fun. Um, I think the last thing that I'm gonna happen to discuss. So I'm gonna get into a couple of topics dealing with the movies and everything. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but I'm gonna get into a couple of things dealing with movies. So it's been confirmed that we're going to begin a ride along 3. So, Ride Along 3 is you know where I I'm from there too. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. That is so cool. That is cool. Yeah, so it's really nice to meet you, Rebecca Walker. That's cool. You're from Michigan too. That's cool. But yeah, so to let y'all know, so we're definitely going to be getting a Ride Along 3, and it's been rumored that Ice Cube and Kevin Hart, of course, could be coming back to the project as well too. So they're definitely going to get some story back. Some story is going to be back for the directing and everything else. So they're getting the script and stuff together as far as them making the movie or whatnot. But yes, Ride Along 3 is definitely in the works. Um, it's been a while since we had Ride Along, but I'm quite sure we you know that it's going to be on point, because the first two movies were good. I'm not gonna lie. I actually liked their part two more than I liked their part one. But for them to be making a part three, I think that it'll be cool. I thought they would have made it sooner. Yeah, that's what it just came back to me. I thought they would have made it sooner, but apparently not. I guess they just happened to, because Kevin Hart at that time, he was doing a lot of movies and whatnot and everything. Because you know he had Think Like a Man, then of course Ride Along, and he had a couple of other movies at that time when he was out and about, you know, doing a whole bunch of projects. He has the stand up comedies and everything. So for him to be him and Ice Cube to be making a Ride Along 3 can be very cool. So I'm definitely gonna check it out, you know, to see what it's all about and everything, and to see if it's gonna be to see if it's gonna have that same level as Ride Along 1 and 2. Because like I said, both of those were great, but I think 2 was a little bit better, you know, because I mean Kevin Hart just goofy or whatnot, you know, so that one was just a little bit more funnier than the first one, of course. But yeah. Okay. Bye, Rebecca. But yeah, yeah, but let me know what you guys actually think about Ride Along 3 in the comment section down below. How do you actually feel about them having Ride Along 3 in the works? And with Ice Cube and Kevin Hart returning to the project, and as far as like some story being back on board to direct it and everything, what do you guys actually think about it? Do you like this? Do you not like this? Is this something that you're going to watch once it hit the big screen? Let me know in the comment section down below. And then of course I want to talk about the Chucky. So there will be a new Chucky movie. So what's going to happen with Chucky is they're going to. I don't think it's going to be a continuation of the well, it's not gonna be a continuation of the show. They're gonna have that mixed in there, but they're pretty much gonna go back to like the Curse of Chucky, a little bit child of the Child's Play. So it's gonna have a lot of that mixed into it as far as like when they happen to make this next Chucky film and everything. So I think that this next one is gonna be big. I think they did a great job with the Chucky series and everything. And like I mentioned in one of my old videos, I did say that Jennifer Tilly is coming back for a brand new Chucky movie. So that's a good thing as well too. So for them to be doing a new Chucky movie, I think that this would be a great idea because, like I said, from the success that they had on Peacock of the Chucky series, it was only fair enough to them to come back and like start up a whole new trilogy for a Chucky movie. Of course, now. I don't know if they're going to do a Chucky trilogy, but there's a possibility that they can be starting up a brand new one, but for now we're just going to be getting a brand new Chucky movie and everything to where it goes back to the roots of like the Child's Play, and then it's going to have like probably like the mixture of the show along with the Curse of Chucky as well too. So I'm very intrigued to see what they're really going to have like set up and to where they're going to really connect it all together, to make it into a movie and everything. So I like this, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna look forward to this as well. But let me know what you guys actually think about them making a brand new Chucky movie in the comment section down below. Do you like this? Do you think they shouldn't be going with this at all? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, to let y'all know, as far as like the topics that I've discussed here on I in this live video, I definitely will be making videos to these topics that I happen to discuss. So definitely look forward to it if you've been watching the channel and everything, or if you're new and you happen to just subscribe to the channel, I definitely will have videos to this just to let y'all know ahead of time. So definitely looking forward to it. There's always new videos getting uploaded to Iconic Entertainment. So if you really want to stay updated with all the newest updates, of course, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel, of course. Like I say, time and time again, I thank you for all the love and support that I happen to get from Iconic Entertainment because without all of you, I probably wouldn't have been able to continue to keep doing this or whatnot, or so but then too, I am passionate about doing this podcast as well too. So it's like a hand in hand thing. But I'm very grateful to have all of you come on board to this channel. So thank you to all of you that have been supporting this channel. Definitely look forward to sports and like food and stuff like that. I also will be going back to doing music as well too, where I happen to do like probably music reviews and stuff like that and everything. So definitely look forward to that. I'm trying to continue to expand the horizons and expand the horizons and whatnot for Iconic Entertainment to where I don't, shorten you guys with any type of, information or anything like that. So it's gonna be a ton of fun this year. We're gonna have a ton of fun this summer. It's gonna be a lot of things to be looking forward to. I'm always gonna be doing movie reviews, TV show reviews, and stuff like that. So go ahead, you guys can check it out on the channel here because they're always getting uploaded here at Iconic Entertainment. But again, it's your boy Michael Jordan. Stay tuned for more content that will be coming as far as sports, as far as games, as far as music, all that good stuff. And yeah, like I say all the time in my podcast, I'll be seeing you guys soon, and I'm out.